What is succession? It's the process in which the structure of biological community evolves over time. Ecological successions are made up of several communities. What is primary succession? This type of succession basically occurs in almost lifeless areas, places where it's impossible for the soil to maintain life. You can see primary succession on regions where something caused too much damage, and it would take a lot of years to recover. What is secondary succession? This is possible when minor disturbances had happened. Therefore, normal nutrients from the environment are eliminated. There is still life, and the soil is formed.
Stages of succession. Stage number 0. Inorganic compounds. This particular phase only applies to primary succession because it is when the soil is non-existent, there is bare rock surface, and the water supply is not reliable. Stage number 1. Colonization. From this phase on, the stages apply to both types of succession. Here is where pioneer species that were able to adapt to extreme conditions find enough materials to develop. The pioneer species can be anything from a seed to a bacteria. Stage number 2. Establishment. Here, invertebrates like worms are part of the environment. Elements that are basic factors for life are available, like water, organic matter, and humus. Stage number 3. Competition. The conditions are improved, and also we were able to observe the presence of new complex plants that invade the area, outcompeting original species. Stage number 4. Stabilize. Few new species enter the ecosystem. Food chains become more complex, creating food webs. Besides, ecological niches are developed. Stage number 5. Climax community. This is the last stage of an ecosystem where steady state equilibrium is found. Here, the ecosystem holds the risk of being damaged or destroyed and start again. A real-life example of primary succession is when a volcano erupts. Lava will destroy everything in its path, but when it cools, new land will be formed. At first, the land will be completely devastated, but after some time, simple organisms will begin to colonize and then turn into more complex organisms.
A real-life example of a secondary succession could be in grasslands. When a crop is completed and is harvested, the nutrients are taken away from the soil and removed from the earth. Also, the crop will be regenerated with a year, thanks to the plants and seeds that remained. How to distinguish between pioneer, intermediate, and climax communities? A pioneer community is an unstable ecosystem. Due to its simplicity, it is easy for this type of communities to be disturbed and start over. The intermediate community is more progress ecosystem, more complex, therefore more stable. A disturbance at this point may lead the ecosystem to be a pioneer ecosystem again. A climax community is the most complex. Because it is a well-balanced ecosystem, it has to suffer from major disturbances and reach the tipping point to become once again a pioneer community. If the disturbances are not so big but they are continuous, the ecosystem could return to being an intermediate community. How productivity changes over the stages of succession. At the beginning, the gross productivity is low due to low density producers. On the contrary, net productivity is really high because of the accumulation of biomass. Later on, more consumers will cause the gross productivity to go up